and welcome to Film Blast with me, Gary, and him, Daryl.
Right, Gary, I'm a bit confused about the idea, like, because we're going to have a theme based on this, you know, how we're doing things.
Exactly, yeah.
And the theme is, if it's going to be like either thematic or like, you know, Marvel movies, or it's about something, action movie, you know.
Yeah, we're not. It's not just going to be in any film we pick up and review it. Yeah. It's going to be a reason and rhyme.
Yeah, I don't understand. The 2006 Tommy Wiseau written and directed film, one of the worst films of all time. What's that got to do with the other two?
Are you joking?
No.
Daryl.
What?
I said.
Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane, Green Room,
and The Room.
No.
What?
Room.
Room? What the fuck's Room?
Oh, I'm going to have to switch this up. You're joking, right?
Nah.
Right, apologies. Go watch Room.
Right, okay.
And then come back.
Right.
And we'll go from there.
Right, yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't know it was going to be like that. Fucking, I have never cried so hard in my life. That makes more sense.
Exactly, thank you. Why the hell? I can only imagine you were sitting there thinking, okay, I get it. So it's made me watch 10 Cloverfield Lane, people locked in a room, you know, they're being held against their will. I've watched Green Room, people held in a room against their will. Is Gary making me watch The Room?
Yeah,
locked in a room.
Yeah, I'm upstairs in my room. Held against my will, watching a terrible film. Right, so which way? How do you want to play this then?
I think we should go Green Room.
Right.
Followed by 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay.
And then ending with
The Room.
No.
The Room. I'll start that again.
Ending with Room.
Yeah, which is one of the funniest movies. Every time you say that name, you want to laugh. It's so funny, that film. It's amazing.
That's
it. It wasn't about people. It's comedy.
Yeah, it's comedy. It's people locked in a room that actually are comedies. Green Room, which myself and you went to go last night. We went and watched it at Hackney Picture House.
Yes. Can I say, Hackney, beautiful, lovely place. Especially on a Tuesday night. Didn't get stopped by one drunk.
No,
13
not
times.
One.
No, 15 drunks.
So there's hands, there's numbers, there's me. 15 drunks stopped us, and we only got offered crack 4 times?
Yeah.
4 times, which I was quite surprised.
I wanted a bit of heroin, but no one had it.
Do you know what I mean?
Disappointed.
Yeah,
maybe it's that fashion, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's although if you ask Patrick Stewart, he's got an opinion on heroin that we're not going to repeat in this.
Yeah, we're not going to repeat what he actually called. Yeah,
no, but I think just the brazenness of saying that, and for who he is as an actor, Patrick Stewart.
That was worth the price of admission.
It was worth the price of admission.
So what did you think?
It was an original feel to it, the run time, and as I said, it felt tight. It felt that there wasn't a minute wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. You came in. Obviously, we're going to keep this spoiler free, but you're introduced to the main characters, if you like, and it gives you 5-10 minutes with them.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes to establish who they are.
Yeah.
And in that short time, they do a very good job of also establishing the individual character traits.
Doesn't handhold you in the exposition, or he just lets it go. You have to sort of come along with him. You know what I mean? He's not spoon feeding to you.
No.
If you don't, you know what I mean? I can't remember anyone's names in it at all.
No.
After I came out, I thought one of the main characters was named the other person's name.
I was really confused, you know, when no spoilers, somebody's throat is getting ripped out. And they're saying that person's name. You must have been thinking, what the hell are you calling him for?
Yeah.
There's a guy being killed over there, surely save him. But
I didn't like it as much as you, I must say.
Okay.
It was good. I could have done it. I wanted it to be a little bit more tall. I wanted it to be a little more, you know what I mean? I wanted it to be like Alien or something, like a little bit more.
A little bit more that horror. Well, that's interesting because
like horror, like really tense.
The suspense. You wanted that build
I wanted
up.
a bit of suspense. I think you may have spent a bit too much time with the white supremacists and their plan, because he doesn't spoonful you. They're talking about stuff, and you're like, I don't even know what they're talking about. So why are you showing me all these things when they're all like red laces, plates? It's like a 4 or 5 different terms they're using all the way through. And I was just like, what are the? Because he's not. And I appreciate it, because I quite like that. I mean, The Wire does that a lot, where you watch it, no one explains to you everything. You have to sort of get through context. I like that.
Yeah.
That's the way I figure things out. That's very good. But at the same time, I didn't really fucking care about the, you know what I mean, about the white supremacists and what their plan was. I was just like, get in and start fucking killing them.
And I think
I want to see some death.
It was a tight 90-minute runtime. They did have to kind of get through a fair bit. And once it got going,
once he got going and it turned, and it was just the end bit I really liked, like the last half an hour or so.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That was really sort of getting into it, you know.
Exactly, and I think it didn't waste a minute. Once it got going, it had some inventive ways of taking the character out.
I feel like it didn't waste a minute, but the white supremacists seem to like waste a lot of time wandering about. And
yes, I thought that as well.
Let's give them an half hour just to they might even come out of the room anyway and try to escape.
If I'm not mistaken, I was trying to think about this morning. If I've got my timings right, now they say something along the lines of you're playing the 1 till 3, which is 1 till 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Now their set ends at 3, and without any spoilers, whatever the plot driver for this happens almost instantly after their set.
Yeah.
Right? Which means we're looking at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
The film ends differently the daytime the next day. So it might only be 6 or 7 in the morning, but certainly we're talking about 14 hours of a standoff minimum.
Yeah, maybe.
And in that 14 hours, they're locked in a room with, from what I can tell, the lock being a single bolt.
Yeah.
with about 30, in the know, about 15 white supremacists on the other side of that door. Mm-hmm. How did they leave them for 14 hours and not? I must admit, actually, that didn't make.
I understand, because the idea was we said we're not spoiling it, but for their plan to work, for the bad guys' plan to work, wasn't just to burst into the place and shoot them all. They couldn't do that.
Too messy.
Too noisy. Yeah. People knew they were there, so they had to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
That plan takes time to implement, and
It was a slow burner plan.
Yeah, it was a slow burner plan. It was a good plan, actually.
It was a good plan, but it was a plan that didn't have a plan B.
Yeah,
because obviously they take up all the time that they've got, they use on this one plan.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't work, they've got no contingency, as we may or may not find out with no spoilers. Would I recommend going to see it? Absolutely.
Yes, obviously.
If you're looking to go see a horror, it isn't. If you're looking to go see a thriller.
It was a really well shot, interesting, small action-y sort of movie. Yeah. I'd say go see it.
Yeah.
I've got some factoids.
I love factoids.
I've got some factoids about agreeing with them, okay?
Right, so fact on time of day, let's dim the lights.
Right. Okay. 4 of the 5 people are English in the film?
4 of the 5, yes. Certainly, if you look at the front poster, certainly 4 of those characters there are English.
You've got the lead singer,
Tiger. I don't know his real name. It's called Tiger.
It's called Tiger.
Yep.
He's English. He was in Glue on E4.
Right.
You've got the other guy, the drummer, who's called Reese.
Yep.
He's in Peaky Blinders.
He is, yes. Yeah, yes. He's the youngest brother in the Peaky Blinders.
You've got Imogen Poote, who's been in like Look and Love. She's been in lots of different English films as well.
Yes, she has,
in that awkward moment. She's English.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got Patrick Stewart. And he's English. Yeah.
So let's move on to our next one then, Daryl, which I believe we said in chronological order.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
10 Cloverfield Lane, yes. Do you want to take us away on this one?
10 Cloverfield Lane is a film that somehow is now in the Cloverfield kind of world. Is that a universe?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's called as a bad robot, it is.
Yeah.
It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who used to do a podcast, which used to be a video show, a lot like this. People were sitting on a seat talking about films.
It's not like that's where we want to go.
So like, he's known on the internet. He's quite popular. He made a Portal short which got him this job.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. If you look that up, I forget what it's called, but you'll find it. Dan Trachtenberg Portal. You'll find it, and it's really well made.
Yeah. And if we might even be able to put a link to somewhere for you.
We'll put it down in the descriptions.
Yeah, just right there.
So anyway, so that's that. This is a film about someone. Maybe there's a war going on.
It might be. There's possibly something going on outside of. Well, the film used to be called The Cellar. From my understanding, I might be getting this slightly wrong, but it did not start life out, and actually didn't get called 10 Cloverfield Lane until about a couple of months before.
It was like
marketing. It was really
like a month before it came out.
It came out. Marketing.
It went. This is 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is the film that Dan Trachtenberg has been making.
Yeah.
Here it is, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Exactly. Which actual Dan Trachtenberg debut director for this as well.
Which is debut film director.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. I know that Green Room wasn't. He did Blue Room beforehand, but this is certainly
murder party or something.
Yeah. At the start, there's a road accident.
Yes, she's running away from her boyfriend. Something's happened. She's trying to speak to him on the phone. She's had enough.
She's ignoring him on the phone, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's trying to speak to her, and I think you kind of get a bit of a feeling like he's done something. Maybe he's hit her or something like that, because she's definitely angry. And she's definitely not going to take his phone call. And I believe it's raining as well.
Yeah.
I think you've got that kind of whole driving fast on the road, upset, danger, Will Robinson.
Warning on the radio that she's not really listening to because she's ignoring her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then, bang, the old car into the side.
And then next thing we know, she's waking up.
In a room.
In a room.
Held against her will.
Locked.
Locked room.
But actually, interestingly, in the only occasion, chained up as well.
Yes, chained up,
So she's the first one to be chained up. I think, and that was my issue, being called the Cellar, and then being 10 Cloverfield Lane, or it's part of this. I'm thinking, okay, so this twist better pay off. It's brilliant at keeping you guessing. It's John Goodman. It's unbelievably good. The female actress in it, she's amazing at keeping you going. In my opinion, they handled adding Cloverfield into it as well as they could. Did they need to? No. I'm the opposite way around. Ah, really?
Yes. I mean, this film, if you want to find... If this is the script, I don't know how much they've changed the script. I don't know how much they rewrote the script when they were shooting. I've heard that they have changed bits and pieces. That script is so tight and so packed and so the parts are moving. Like, there's a bit where he makes his drink cold. He's made some vodka and he chills his drink, yeah?
Yeah.
That bit comes back and you think to yourself...
Yes.
It's like, yes, we did. There's so many bits to that, like, you know what I mean? Like the shower curtain bit and there's so many bits in this film.
Actually, I completely forgot about that. It's a genius bit of filmmaking there.
Exactly. When I got to that bit, when he does that, and I was like, fucking, that linking that up, because you do not think, you don't think that's a bit of foreshadowing. These three films in common have got a fast bit, slow it right down, build it back up, fast bit, slow it down. Every single person in every single one, all these films, they escape. They manage to escape the room. They don't stay in the room the whole time.
No, of course not. Yeah.
So in saying that, when she manages to escape, I think maybe it went on. Yeah, it probably did go on a little bit too long afterwards. Maybe if it had finished with, you know what I mean?
You know what is in the sky? I think that's probably, she could have come out and seen that in the sky. And that would have been enough. And we could have ended there, and that we did not need any more.
I'll tell you what.
And there's a look on the actress's face when she's out of the room at one point, and it's beautifully done, because it's a look as if to say, oh, fucking this as well.
Exactly.
You know, I've literally just dealt with this, and now you want me to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And and I think that there is that feel that if you'd have just cut to that, and it would have made far more sense, and probably would have worked in the confines of having these different films inside of this kind of structure, that you can have this timeline where everybody's kind of seeing what's happened.
Shall I tell you, watching Cloverfield Lane, what it reminded me of?
Go on.
In that confidence, as a genre film, we directed confidently, first time director, Attack the Block.
Yes, it
that
did.
Sort of, you know what I mean? It's a sci-fi film, but it's a low budget sci-fi film, really well directed, really just confidently, not wasted, nothing goes on too long, edited smartly, you know what I mean? Compact, tight. Really liked 10 Cloverfield Lane. I liked it a lot more than I did enjoy Green Room, but I didn't love it. But I really loved.
I loved 10.
I loved Green Room.
I didn't think I was going to either. I really didn't think I was going to.
I think you should all go see it. It's one of those really good sci-fi, tight genre movies. I mean, you watch it, you just go, they need to start making movies like this again.
Yes, they really do.
We keep saying they've made Green Room and this.
Yeah, I know, they've done all three at the same time.
Green Room was made, I think.
I think that's possibly why we had three in a row, because we have been screaming out for something that says, can we have a bit of intelligent filmmaking for once? Outside of CGI intelligence, that is. But I agree with you. I prefer it to Green Room. I say, if you've got an opportunity, if it's still in the cinema near you right now, go see it straight away. If not, count your days down till it comes out on DVD, because this is one that's definitely worth picking up, and certainly one that I think has got rewatchability.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Smart, you want to watch it back and you want to see if you can... Things like the drink thing.
Right. So now we're on to Room.
Room.
Not The Room.
Not The Room.
I have to say, one thing The Room is famous for is a catchphrase, and I think it's adequate to this film. It's, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa!" That's what this film will do. It will fucking tear you to fucking shreds.
It really will.
Man, I have never seen a film that just parts of it I was in fucking tears. I thought it was a beautiful film.
Oh no, it was.
Because like the love between a mother and a child is so. Even thinking about that, it was just such a traumatic experience. How two people, just their own love, can sort of keep them through it.
Yeah. If you know the Joseph Fritzl character, or the story of the Swiss, I think he was, no, Austrian.
Yeah.
He was Austrian, German.
One of them.
Yeah,
one Germanic
of those
places.
And yeah, so you know the storyline of Room outside the fact that the captor isn't her dad. Any semi-intelligent watcher of the film will have worked out already that the child will be that of the captors.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been raped, she's had a child.
Yeah. I mean, the film's in two halves. There's the first half is them in the room.
Yeah.
And the
second half is them
out of the room.
Yeah.
And how they're coping. And they're both really interesting. It could be two separate films, like two parts of the same.
You'd especially in Hollywood today, you wouldn't be surprised if it was Room Part 1 and Room Part 2, you know, like...
yeah. And the third part, which they split into another two pieces.
Yeah, exactly, Room in Outer Space, which would kind of fit him. But William H. Macy can't look at him, can he?
No.
That's the whole point, is he can't look at him because when he looks at him, all he can see is what happened to his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's poignant that... And she is adamant, he is my son. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not... And there's the interview piece.
He takes the power from the thing.
From the mother's love.
Yeah.
You know, because she says everything changed once she had him.
Yeah.
And essentially because she had something she had to live for.
Yes.
And that is, you know... And she mentions he's the boy that saved his mum. He saved her by, you know, how they get out is very much a big, you know, the son has a massive point to plan out, and the way they do it is brilliant. The turning point when she decides I'm getting out, she times it. His age is right, the circumstances are right, the way in which they do it, the amount of attempts they have as well.
Yeah.
It's not first one and done.
Yeah.
Is brilliantly done. And when they talk about the boy that saved their mum, they mention it a few times. You've saved my life a few times. For me, they're never talking about how they get out. They're not talking about when she has to go to hospital. Him as an individual that gives her strength.
Yeah, gives her strength. Yeah.
His hair.
Quite literally.
Yeah, literally. His hair, which is long, Samson and Delilah, is his strength. And I mean, I
think everyone if you don't like sci-fi films and you don't go see Cloverfield Lane. That's why. No. If you don't like punk, and you're not that sort of. If you want to see,
if you're disturbed by kind of extremism in films, like say if you didn't like American History X, don't go see Green Room.
Yeah. If you don't want to see someone spit from here to here, don't go see Green Room. If you don't want to see a dog ripping someone's face, don't go see Green Room. If you don't want to see someone fall into a pat of acid, don't go see Green Room. Don't go see
Cloverfield Lane. Sorry,
Or if you don't like John Goodman. He's not like John Goodman.
No, it's impossible.
You don't like that geezer from the Newsroom.
Yes.
Newsroom. If you don't like that guy from Newsroom, don't go see Cloverfield Lane.
No.
Go see Room. Just watch it. Everyone needs to see it. It will hollow you out, turn you into a ball of mush, push it back down your throat and jam it in there. You will cry.
Yeah, you'll be like a baby.
But it's beautiful as well. It's just...
it's shot beautifully. The scenes, they never seem to hang... The child actor, whose name I really wish I had right now,
Tremblay,
something like that. I mean,
Tremblay.
he's before. They do say they say don't work with children and animals, and I think he rubbishes that claim.
That child is amazing.
He's amazing, but you have to look at the direction as well. He's brilliant, but the direction is first class. The way they've looked at don't work with child and animals because they can't be controlled. Okay, then don't have him act in his massive pieces. Shoot it in such a way that the emotion, the words, he's so... I mean, I'm a guy that's why say one word when you can say 100. Yeah. He is the most succinct character I think I've ever known in my life. And he tells... We're talking about a 5-year-old, or certainly in the film, and he tells... There's more emotion, more stories in his face than you see... than Robert De Niro's put in a film in the last 30 years.
It's fucking... I mean, I get teary-eyed at a lot of things when I'm watching films. I don't know, I tear up all the time, I get a little bit weepy. I fucking nearly lost it, mate. I choked on my own. I mean, I haven't cried like that since I was like a child. And I think that's the beauty of that film. You feel all that made me feel like being a child, and that love for your parents, that loss and that sort of... It stirs something up in me. It's amazing.
You want it, don't you? You want that unconditional love,
Yeah.
and that's what they have for each other.
Yeah.
You know, and there's and that's it. They are each other's world.
Yeah.
And the little boy says it at one point. He says they talk about the size of room.
Yeah.
You know, because it's basically a shed that
Yeah.
they've been living in, and she does a brilliant job of making him feel like it's bigger.
Yeah.
She gets him to do his exercises before he goes to sleep, which
Yeah.
I thought was a love. I mean, everything was a lovely touch in it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, like just that little thing. 'Cause you're thinking, oh, well, how's he not fallen into mush? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
She just as a mother, she just looked and she will not let old Nick touch him.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like because for her, if he ever touches him, he becomes real to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And she wants them as separated as possible. And how the hell do you do that in a room? And she uses her body.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's willing. She will let herself be abused to ensure that kid doesn't have one finger laid on him. And oh my God, it's just. And when I think of the 3 films, is there a better ending? Have I seen a better ending this year?
No.
I don't think I have.
No.
I don't think. I mean, there's a scene where, again, you know, spoilers and all that. Look, we've gone by the wayside. We'll let you know if you're watching our show. There's going to be some spoilers. There's a skylight in the room. That's the only light they've got, and he looks up at it, and his mum tells him it's outer space, and that's her way of saying it, is that they live essentially. The room is its own planet, and everything else is outer space. That's why they can't
reach
go
it without a
outside.
spaceship.
Exactly.
They haven't got a spaceship. They're too poor.
Exactly.
He keeps asking the geezer for a spaceship. He never brings one.
Exactly. Yeah.
He said, "This is my spaceship," and she says, "That's not. That's in the space. That's not our space."
Exactly. Yeah. It's also I always thought it was bigger, but
It was big on the
no,
outside.
yeah, exactly. It always looked bigger in pictures, but no. He's looking through this skylight, and that's all he can see, and it's beautifully shot. The way, you know, with a leaf that falls on it, and it just sort of, and the way they take you for the journey of his slow realization that maybe things aren't what he thinks. And when he gets out and he's looking up at the world, and he's in the back of a car. And he sees all these things going past him.
That's when I lost it.
Oh.
I absolutely lost it. I couldn't. I was just like.
Is there been a better scene in a film this year?
No,
I don't think there has been.
Just the sort of. It was everything coming towards he's the sense of wonder. Where is he? What's going on?
Exactly.
In the car, can he get everything happening all at once?
Yeah.
All this emotion,
It's
from looking up at the sky. And
terror, excitement, joy, worry, bewilderment, disillusionment. It's dizziness.
Wonder.
Yeah, wonder. It is everything, and it is shot because of that skylight. The way they use the skylight, the way they filmed that shot of him looking up. It's power cables going over. He's never seen a power cable. He's like, he doesn't know what a power cable is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got trees going past him. He's seen a leaf. He doesn't know what a tree is. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it is, imagine that. You know, seeing all these things for the first time in your life, but at the same time being scared. And the way they shot it was beautiful. And then the ending bit, again, if you don't want to know, click away here. But for everybody else that just enjoys the story for what it is, it's a shot of them back at the room.
Yeah.
So we're going to call it back at the room.
Yeah, back at room.
but yeah, back at, because they call it room in it. They do make a constant. Yeah, they do call it room.
Because he calls everything by a name. It doesn't use a definite article, does it?
Yeah.
He doesn't say the skylight.
No.
It's a skylight. It's his chair. It's his chair 1.
They
it's
are.
door.
They're not inanimate objects to him. They are things. He's created personalities for them to survive. And
there's one bit I really liked where he said that the world's so big now that all the time spreads over it, so it's got really thin like butter over bread. And then he went, always hurry up, do this quickly, hurry up, do this.
Yes.
In room we had all the time in the world, we just concentrate because they just go on forever.
I can't
believe now we go on here. Time that bit was I was like, that is such a great bit of writing.
And do you know what I liked about that the most is that I find sometimes narratives, over the top speaking, is lazy storytelling. It's where voiceover is lazy storytelling.
When it's a narrative like the original Blade Runner, where they put VO on it to try to tell you what was going on, so you got it. But his VO is not that.
No, it's not. Because that's insulting. Voiceovers where you're not able to tell the story visually well enough, and then you have to add that is poor. With his one, it's so well done because it's like he's playing around, and it is like you're in his head at that moment in time. Yeah, and
how he sees the world.
And they do it. I think it's 3 or 4 times they do it in the film, and you see the progression. So throughout the film, you're under no disillusion as to how he sees the world, how he has created and rationalised everything in his head to make sense of what's going on. And the scene where he talks about, is there a better social commentary in any film at the moment on the way that the world is at the moment.
Exactly.
The way that he's like, why is everybody in such a rush? And the way he a child rationalises that okay, because time spread so thin that we've got to be quick and we've got to move around.
The world's so big.
Yeah.
That time spread. So when it was in the room, it was contained in the room. It was concentrate. Now that whole time that was in the room, it's now spread up across the whole world.
I know, and it's just obviously, if you haven't guessed already, we are telling you watch Room. You know, be prepared, but watch Room. You won't be disappointed. We hope that this has given you some sort of insight as to whether or not you're going to go to watch these films.
We hope you've laughed at our jokes.
Yeah, we've had a good time. We hope you've had a good time, and that's really all that matters, isn't it?
We should tell you to like, subscribe, all that bullshit.
Yeah, share and all that. But look, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Yeah. No one's going to tell you. No one can tell you what to do. You're your own individual person.
Nobody.
If you like it, do what you fucking want.
Exactly, yeah. Nobody can tell you what to do, but go watch Room, Green Room.
Like and subscribe. Post it to your Facebook.
Yep, share. You know, if you want to donate some money to us, you know,
exactly. Follow us on Instagram. We haven't got Instagram.
Exactly. We haven't got.
I've got Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram. I don't even follow him on Instagram, so somebody should.
Follow me on Instagram, but it's not film related. It's just personal.
Exactly. Do what you like, and we just hope that you've enjoyed us. We've enjoyed it, and I think really just have a blast.
Film blast.